All right, now spawning in the bottom right position as the red Protoss player coming in for IG, the Chinese Protoss, it is Jim. And spawning in the top left position as the blue Zerg player coming in for Team Liquid, the king of drones himself, it is Ret. Now Jim is, of course, going to open up with a pylon in his main base. A lot of players have been preferring to gateway expand on this map versus Zerg, just because it is so difficult to wall off the natural as a Protoss. And this actually kind of led to some Zerg players starting to favor more of the hatch first style again, just because you can kind of punish it that way. And you know that's one of the scary things about the Forge opening, is that it is actually really the only hard counter to hatch first, is opening with the Forge and cannon rushing, which technically is like a reverse meta on this map, because there are people that actually will open with the cannon rush just because of that potential to metagame. So pretty interesting stuff here, as it were. And double gas. Nothing unusual here for Jim. Ret, on the other hand, well, he is going to be able to go for that very fast hatchery, taking advantage. You know, he's kind of metagaming the map, like I said. That's just one of the ways a lot of people have been playing Bel'Shir Vestige as far as Zerg versus Protoss goes. So this doesn't surprise me in the slightest. I anticipate that we could see some very quick aggression from Jim, but since he did open up with double gas, it's not as likely, since he's going to be quite limited in the amount of actual army units that he can build, because he went for the style. But Ret's going to go double hatchery before spawning pool. That's actually a pretty ballsy play to make, especially without drone scouting. So Ret's going to see there's no expansion, and in all honesty, this is the kind of situation now that the spawning pool has started, where if Jim knew it was happening, or if Jim had scouted himself, he could have gone for something. He could just 4-gate right now. He could just 4-gate, and he would pretty much instantly win this game, but he doesn't know. He's going to go expand. That's fine. He's kind of actually playing straight into Ret's hands here, and that's actually going to be really nice for Ret, because he's going to be able to get that spawning pool up, no problem. We do have the extractor coming in as well, so Ret will be able to move into upgrades or tech or pretty much whatever he wants, unabated. And his biggest weakness is going to be if Jim does do some sort of 2-base pressure. The faster that Jim puts the pressure on, the more likely it will be to be successful for him, because if he can get up something like that fast 4-gate timing that we saw earlier, even without +1 attack, that can catch Ret off guard before he actually has time to build any units, before he has time to properly look into scouting the mid-game setups. And yeah, so I am curious about that. But this is going to be an interesting one. Ret right now just droning up quite a bit. And yeah, so now the winner of this best of 3 is going to make it into the bracket for the playoffs of the Russian Starleague. Just kind of going through group stages, getting everybody settled in. And the bottom 2 are going to be out. So since both of these guys did win, they're at least guaranteed 3rd place, but that's not quite enough. They're going to need to win a second match if they want to advance. And that's pretty important to note. And we're actually going to have a Stargate opening here from Jim. A bit more standard for what would be Korean meta, but I guess in China, these guys may find that this is a really nice way to play. The 3-gate Stargate after the gateway expand. And this isn't really a fast Stargate, to be honest. It's not like it's fast enough that it's going to make a difference. I would like to see something like Void Rays and then just do some gateway pressure with a Void Ray, but it is going to be Phoenix from our IG Protoss, and he wasn't overcharged. I didn't even realize he wasn't overcharged. What did he go for? He literally didn't do anything with that. Huh. Maybe it was an Overlord here? That's a pretty interesting use of an overcharge. The Phoenix array, because the Phoenix would have been able to kill it anyway, wouldn't they? Like, that just seems a slightly bit redundant. And right now is just droning like crazy. He's not worried about much of anything at all right now. And the Phoenix are going to be able to come in. They can harass, but Ret has Spore Crawlers coming in. There's not enough Phoenix to actually just start picking up these queens and killing them yet, so Ret will have time to get his Spore Crawler up, actually, before a 4th Phoenix arrives. So you need 4 Phoenix to kill a queen, so with 1 lift. And most Protoss players like to go for 5. It's kind of like the standard meta, at least for Korean Protoss versus Zerg. I know this queen's actually going to step off creep, man. It's gonna get killed. It's going to require 2 lifts to kill it, but it's going to die, no doubt. That queen was a little bit too brave, I think. And that's one of the other cool things you do with the Phoenix is you can deny the creep spread. You can deny creep spread, you can put on the pressure. This Spore Crawler, though, is doing a bit of damage to this Phoenix. I think Jim's going to need to be a little bit careful. Ooh, 2 Spores actually doing a lot of damage. The killing the queens, I mean, as long as he doesn't lose a Phoenix, which are infinitely more expensive than the queen, as long as he doesn't lose them, killing the queens is almost always worth it, because that's production that's lost. There's a lot of other things that are lost. And this game, we actually have that very fast Mutalisk play coming in from Ret. And this is kind of interesting because these Phoenix are already putting on a lot of damage. They're putting on a pretty consistent amount of pressure. And it's just kind of fun to see because, well, I don't know. It's just the dynamic of how what the players are doing kind of lines up with each other. But now we do have, ooh, poking away more of these Overlords. Jim, there's nothing that is safe from him. The cool thing about Phoenix is they're one of those units that the more APM you have, the better they become. Because then all of a sudden you can do all of this while you're macroing back at home. And Jim's got his 3rd base on the way. He hasn't really added many gateways yet. He's getting a robotics bay. So he's going to go for Colossi, which makes a lot of sense. And we have a Void Ray on the way. And I do like this a lot. I love Void Rays. Void Rays and PvZ are so much fun to watch. As well as the carrier play. But he's going to come in here. He's continue to pick up more of these units. And the other really cool thing about what Jim is doing is he is severely depriving not only the injects, but also preventing there from being any kind of counterattacks. You can't really try to attack Jim when any second he could just roll up with, all these Phoenix, attack you, kill all your stuff, and then you run at his base and he's got force fields. So it does make things a little bit rough. But Hydralisk speed coming in now for Ret. Nothing unusual here. The Void Ray, I do like that he's mixing these in. Slowly but surely, they get a lot of extra damage in here. But, yeah, Hydralisk's coming out for Ret. And man, these Phoenix are just putting on so much nice pressure. I wonder how many drones he's actually killed. 6, not bad. 19 units overall killed. Not bad at all. And Jim is going for what is basically the fastest combination of Colossi Void Ray that you can get. And I like this because it kind of shows that he understands what units are really popular in the meta and which ones synergize very well. And that is going to be the Phoenix, excuse me, the Void Ray and the Colossus. But ooh, Spore Crawler throwing some attacks up here. Hydralisks giving chase, and he'd get off my lawn. And another Stargate for Jim. Not surprising at all to me to see this. In fact, I'm curious where he put his forge. Yeah, it's part of his wall. I'm waiting for that +2 attack or armor. I guess it's attack is better versus Zerg because you have so much DPS. You just want to kill them anyway. But he's dancing around. And we see Corruptors coming out. And this is the thing where it gets difficult for Ret because he's like, I'm going to make Hydralisk Corruptor. But he doesn't realize there's Void Rays on the field. Or if he realizes it, I don't think he realizes how good Void Rays are or how many of them there are. So this is going to be interesting. And it's actually really, really interesting to see how these army compositions fan out against each other. It depends when Ret wants to push. Because if he just tries to use Zerg production, just push when he's like maxed or semi-maxed. Like if he pushes right now, this is going to be very interesting. And he is going to push. There's a lot of, like, there's a good number of Corruptors, but if the Phoenix join the fight with this many Void Rays, there's 3 of them, and he actually has 2 more about to come out, and that's when stuff gets real. And I don't know if he's actually going to be able to hold that. He does have, like, a Phoenix that's hallucinated dealing damage, but here come the Corruptors. They're looking for trouble. He's going to hallucinate more Void Rays. I really like this decision. Time Warp down on the Hydralisk, buying himself a little bit of time here. The Colossus doing as much damage as it can. It actually has not yet fallen. These Corruptors with the Phoenix and Void Ray support actually blowing these Corruptors away. Jim will lose his Colossus, and Ret is pushing in with so much right now. There's a lot of Hydralis, a lot of Roaches. The hallucinated Void Rays, they do nothing. And, well, Ret is taking a commanding supply lead right now. Jim, this is one of the worst angles to be attacked in from 2 spots at once, and now he's going to lose his Forge, potentially lose his Natural, and if he loses his Stargates, I think that's going to be game for him. He needs to be so careful right now. He doesn't have any Corruptors left here, but there is a Colossus on the southeast side of this natural expansion, and even if he doesn't kill the Colossus, he's got so much here. He's moving up into the main, splitting off, and Jim is just going to throw in the GG. Ret takes game number 1 in this this best of 3 series between our Chinese player and our European player. So not bad at all. Not bad at all. And I have to say, I don't have a score for this. I'm not actually sure how to do that. So I'm just going to leave that there for now. And we'll get into the next game as soon as we can, guys. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Russian Starleague Season 6.